Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek14 press conference stream with me, Holly Shandon. Unfortunately, it's set to be for another busy one, particularly for owners of Watkins, Bowen and Matoma as we wait yet another week for more information on their availability for this weekend. We've got 13 press conferences coming up in the next 90 minutes. Chelsea, Luton, Spurs and Wolves all due at 1 o'clock, although I think I've seen the Chelsea press conference has come slightly earlier. Pochettino's jumped the gun. And then at 1:30, we've got Arsenal, Bournemouth, Brentford, Palace, Liverpool, Man United, Man City and West Ham, where hopefully we'll get the Bowen news. And then at 2:15, it's the Aston Villa press conference. Ollie Watkins was rested in the UEFA Europa Conference League yesterday. He had a small pain, not very strong. We decided as well to rest him. There's a chance that he could be unavailable for the trip to Bournemouth. So lots to get into, of course. If you are in, make sure that you're hitting the like button on the stream and subscribing to the channel. There's over 100 of you in already, which is brilliant. So let's start by getting the stream up to 100 likes and come and say hello in the chat. I think the mods are already in full force doing their thing. VJ, Killer at Rannick as well. So thank you chaps for that. And yeah, so it's a Saturday deadline, a little bit later. It's at 1:30. There's no early kickoff, but obviously quite a few injuries which we need news on. We've already had some press conferences earlier today and yesterday, so I'm going to round all of those up as well. But I'm always here every Friday trying to take you through the injury news, and it's been a lot busier than I would have hoped for quite a few weeks now because of, just a ridiculous number of injuries this season, which is making it particularly difficult to navigate. I haven't made my transfers yet. I think cash went down last night, which doesn't help me particularly. But yeah, in terms of my moves, at the moment I'm leaning to keeping Watkins because I'm not really sure who I want to replace him. My initial plan was cash out for Saliba and Diaby out for Gordon. Now, I've got 0.1 million in the bank for making those moves. I am just going to check, actually, the latest price changes. 99% accuracy on Fantasy Football Hub. And that 30-day free trial is still live using the link in the description. So right now, it looks okay in terms of price changes for me. I would love to get to tomorrow and maybe make the moves tomorrow, but I may be forced to go earlier. I could, if I was to replace Watkins, it's kind of between Isaac and Darwin. I'd kind of be a little bit tempted by Darwin. It would be a 4-point hit. I guess I wouldn't have to get rid of Diaby for Gordon if that was the case, which would probably be the more sensible thing to do. But we'll see what it brings. If I can hold Watkins, I will do, because I just like Villa in general. I know their fixtures aren't great. Bournemouth away this week, and then City at home and Arsenal at home. But when you've got a congested midweek schedule, I think having good players in good attacking teams with tough fixtures isn't a bad thing, because kind of minimising that rotation, which is probably why Emery even decided to rest in midweek anyway. It's probably something of nothing. So we'll see what that brings. I'm going to pop over to the live chat and say hello to you all. Mustafa said, hello everyone, any good news? Let's hope so. Antonia said, any surprises today? Let's hope not. Light Rays is in. Stephen is in. VJ said, special welcome to all overseas viewers. Dan the man is in. As is Fremi, Cambiz, Clark, Ahmed, Willie, Mike, who said I'm muted. Hopefully not. I've been chatting for a while, so it'd be a bit of a disaster if I was muted. Maybe have you got me muted? Is that the thing? Ben is in, as is Emmanuel, Wayne, Moaz, Light Rays, Glyn, John, Nelson, Simple Intros, and Mohammed. Please let me know if my audio did go array at any point in the intro to the stream. So yeah, as I said, we have heard from some managers already. Burnley, Everton, Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest had their press conferences yesterday. We've already heard from Newcastle, Man City and Chelsea today. I think the only team that we're not going to hear from is Brighton, who obviously were they in Athens last night in the Europa Conference League? Sorry, not the conference, just the Europa League. So let's have a quick roundup of the captain poll is live as well. Let's have a quick roundup of what we've had already. So a bit of a weird one at Chelsea. Nkunku and Lavia in training, but need late fitness tests. It sounds like they're going to miss out this week. For Man City, Kovacic is back. Nunes is close to being back. Stones will be in the squad on Sunday. Obviously, they face Spurs at home. Longstaff and Willock are not long-term absentees for Newcastle. Botman responding well to treatment, although the centre-back is still not working fully with the squad. So that's something to bear in mind there. That's particularly important for Lascelles owners, but I think given the nature of Botman's injury layoff and the form that Lascelles has been in, I don't think he's going to really lose his place anytime soon, particularly in this fixture congestion. Barnes and Wilson are out, which is good news for Gordon. No return to play for them, which is a bit odd as well. This was the quote about Watkins. He had a small pain, not very strong. We decided to rest him. And a follow-up quote from Aston Villa journalist. He's unsure if Watkins will be fit for Bournemouth, but hopefully yes. But we will hear from Emery in just over an hour's time anyway. News from Everton yesterday, Onana unlikely to play. Beto is likely. Calvert-Lewin needs to be carefully managed. And from Burnley, Benson building fitness. Foster misses out again. Ekdal returned to the matchday squad last weekend. And just something to note, which isn't injury news particularly, but just in terms of the festive guide, there's lots to consider going on. We've got a midweek game week next week. Deadline's Tuesday at 6:30. I'll be back with a deadline stream for that one. No deadline stream tomorrow because I'm on Sky Sports News. But we've got the fixture schedule. Lots of fixtures coming up over the festive schedule. Things to manage like injuries, player fitness, number of yellow cards, quite a few players, one match off a ban. There's the blank game week 18 for City and Brentford because of the Club World Cup, which could become a double game week as soon as game week 20, but we haven't had news of that yet. We've got the winter break in January with a split game week. And we've also got the African Cup of Nations coming up and the Asia Cup also coming up in January. So some really useful information on that article on the Hub as well. Simon is in and modding. Nice to see you, Simon. Hope you're doing well. Let's have a look what's going on the tweet deck then, because we were expecting at 1 o'clock to hear from Luton, Spurs and Wolves. I can't see anything yet. I'm just conscious that I've been talking for a little while, and obviously I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing anything. As it comes in, I'll obviously update you. Something else I wanted to speak to you guys about today, though, is One Future Football, which is a product that I've been playing for a couple of months now, and it's a virtual football league. It's really, really fun. They've got 12 fictional teams that play in fixtures each and every week, endorsed by some pretty big ambassadors as well, which is really exciting. I've kind of adopted as my team, hang on, where is it? South London United. There's teams from all across the world, all fictional. So you've got Manhattan FC are in there, Paris, Saint-Denis, and you can go on a football club, and it will give you their kind of weekly fixtures and their players, but it also gives you a bit of background on players. And in addition, you can go on each individual player, and it will give you a little bio of them and their backstory and what they've been up to. There's fixtures every week. So the next round of fixtures, the deadline for that is 7:00 tonight, UK time. And there's fixtures kind of spread across every day. So it's really great when there isn't any Premier League football on as well, to have something else to be interested in. And you can actually watch the games or highlights of games on YouTube for each and every fixture. So you can really get invested in the narrative behind these teams. I just chose South London United because I wanted to go with a club that would kind of fictionally be close to me, but also you can get the kits as well, which is really cool as well. And the main thing that I like is the fantasy game. So I'll show you the fantasy game in the moment. I'm just going to show you the dashboard right now, because when you go in, you can get rewards for going in each day. It will tell you your club's next fixture, and you'll be able, once that fixture's on, if you check in during the fixture, you can get credits on there, you can get player packs, and you can play the fantasy games. And if you do well on the fantasy games, then you can unlock rewards, and you can upgrade your players as well. So that will take you to your trophy cabinet as well. So you can get player packs. I think I've got a pack to open at the moment, which is quite cool. So we've got someone for Inter, Swedish player. We've got a player from Brazil. And then once you've got these players, you can then put these players into your fantasy team. And there's a fantasy game every single week. The deadline is always on a Friday. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, please go have a look on One Future Football. The link to this is in the chat, and it's also it's pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. But there's a free fantasy game and a pro fantasy game every single week. The free one is free to enter, and you can get cash prizes. You can get credits, which you can use in the shop, where you can buy player kits and other merch. And there's also a pro game where you've got better prizes. You do need to have the player packs for those. I just wanted to check that I've opened all my player packs. So you can go in and choose a team for each round of games. So with the deadline being 7 p.m. here, I am going to choose a team for the free fantasy game and the pro fantasy game. For the free fantasy game, you can basically choose from the entire player pool, and it'll give you information like the player rating and the minutes percentage. It's obviously all done using some algorithm, but you can choose certain players in there. You're able to choose it from, the minutes percentage as well as the player rating in there. So you can set your lineups every week for every new round of fixtures. I'm going to have some prizes to give away as well. I'll be giving away to the winner of the pro game each game week. For anyone that uses my code Holly10, I'll be giving away a kit, and I'll also be giving away additional merch for anyone getting involved in the free fantasy game as well. So there's lots for you to win. So free cards for the free mode and free shirts for the winner of the pro mode. So going to be following this over the course of December. So there's lots for you to earn, lots for you to get into and do. And the code is Holly10 if you do want to purchase any players or kits. And if you use the link that's pinned in the chat or in the description, that will get you sorted. So go check out One Fantasy Football. I'm going to go back now to the tweet deck to see if we've had anything in from the press conferences, because we was expecting to hear around about now from Spurs and also from Wolves, I believe, and Luton. I actually can't see anything yet. It's a bit strange. Everyone's a bit delayed. We had oh, here we go. We're gonna have, I'll take my take this out and just play this from Postecoglou. It's news on Bentancur.
Team news again. We know there's a list of 9 there. I wanted to ask you about a couple of players, if I can. Obviously, Rodrigo. What was the diagnosis on Rodrigo, and how's he been?
Yeah, look, obviously disappointing for him. Kind of saw it on the day, and yeah, the outcome wasn't great. So he'll probably miss a fair chunk of time between now and the new year. So probably a couple of months for him to get back, which is disappointing for him because we all know how hard, we'll witness how hard he's worked to sort of get himself back.
So that was a bit of a frustrating one at Spurs about Bentancur. Obviously come back from a lengthy layoff and got injured under poor tackle. Was that the Cash tackle? I feel like, it was Cash, wasn't it, that went in on him? Carnage. Hopefully the stream is working okay at the minute. Basically, I updated my Mac last week, and ever since I've been having a few issues, but most people saying that they can see me and hear me okay. While we're waiting for these press conferences to come through, then I am going to cover some of your questions, so make sure you're asking those in the chat as well. There's 400 of you in. We're not quite up to 100 likes yet, so keep them coming. Ben has said, with Watkins flagged, what should we do? Also, which game week is AFCON? If you like the look of Isaac or of Darwin as a replacement, then obviously you can just go for it with those. However, I think also it's fine to hold. There's options either way. Obviously, this is the better of the fixtures, which will certainly help. Simon said that his fan is going crazy since the update. I'm glad it's not just me. He wants to do another update overnight, but I can't deal with it at the minute. And we've got Linford is in joining the mod squad as well. Naldi says, Holly, Saka captain. I do think that both Haaland and Salah are the better options. Interestingly, the points predictions for this week, Saka is 5th on... Oh, sorry, that's not this week. That's the next 4 combined. Saka's 4th on 6 predicted points. Darwin, Salah and Haaland all ahead of him. And maybe not Darwin, but I certainly agree Haaland and Salah ahead, both nailed on penalties. The thing is, Saka's returns have been limited to assists in recent games, whereas Salah and Haaland... it's goals is their bread and butter, and that definitely helps. So that's why we're in that situation where Saka captain is okay, but I think there are better teams, better fixtures to target this week. On the subject of AFCON, I think it was game week 21 to 24. Yeah. There it is on there, yeah. Remember, you can get all of the, tools on the hub with that 30% off using the 30-day free trial as well. Link in the bio for that one. Mo says, can we get a new update on Kudus? Yeah, that's at 1:30 as well. David Moyes' press conference is hotly anticipated. I swear that these Premier League managers make up the press conference times each week because they're never on time. Simpletron says, should I change Maddison? Absolutely. He's going to be out for a few weeks, so definitely. Akshat says, good to see you back, Ollie. And David says, Raya still looking good in goal. Got to agree with that. In terms of Maddison replacements, if you're still there, if we look for the next 4 game weeks at midfielders, Saka, if you can get to him, if not, Mbomo, and if you own both of them, probably Gordon. Fremy says, best defender to buy up until game week 18. No price cap. Well, I think, to be fair, I don't like Trent because Alisson has got that injury and he's going to be a big loss over the next few game weeks. Trippier, still a good pick. I'd go Arsenal defender, though. The AI prefers White, but I feel like Saliba is going to be a bit of a steady Eddie, but I think that's the kind of player you need at this time of year. Trippier, 1 yellow card off a suspension, by the way. Mohammed says, is Watkins going to play? It's the $1 million question. Hopefully so, but it's not guaranteed. Wayne has said start cash or share. I would start share, I think. Shares on 3.7 predicted points. Cash is on 3.5 predicted points. Newcastle at home, great clean sheet potential. Yeah, and a message from the mods to not spam the chat with the same questions. And I missed a super thanks from VJ, so thank you. Comes in, mods the stream, is a channel member, and he puts in super thanks as well. You do way too much, VJ, but it's appreciated, mate. Jason says, Simicast or Gabriel? I think Gabriel will start this game, so I know Simicast has got a bit more goal threat, but that Arsenal clean sheet looks pretty good. And I think the AI agrees with me there on those. Cambib says, should I keep Trippier and Anderson or sell them? Holds for me. Obviously, Arsenal defenders look great buys this week, kind of for the long term, really. But yeah, there's not a lot of choice in defence, so kind of sticking with what you've got is like the easy option. Clark says, and Bomo for captain. I don't hate it. He's doing pretty well. Oh, Simon, you really didn't need to. Simon said, thanks for all your support, Holly, here and outside of FPL. You are a kind soul. And here's my weekly roll of the dice. Yeah, can we have an update, Simon, on how you got on last week? So he's got Callagher in goal. That's definitely a transfer in this week. So that's one transfer already. Simicast, Trippier, Zinchenko, Palmer, Sterling, Saka, Salah and Bomo. Nice midfield. Don't need Son at the moment, do we? Haaland, Solanke. Some nice differentials in there that I think will serve you well. Solanke, I think, will score against Villa. Team's looking good. What moves was it this week? Obviously, you got Kelleher in. What else did you do? You really didn't need to with the super thanks, though. Honestly. Let's just have a quick look to see whether any of these press conferences have come in yet. Everton have appealed their points deduction. 67 points last week. It's brilliant. Yeah. Nothing. Oh, it looks like Postacoglu's in. Sa isn't available. Benton Kerr, no time frame. I feel like I'm trying to multitask and not doing a very good job of it at the moment. Nelson says, I purchased Anderson at 5. If a player price drops by 0.1, do you lose the value accumulated after he's risen? No, I don't think so. If you bought him at 5 and he dropped to 4.9, then you'd lose that whole 0.1. But if he's gone up and then he's going down, then it's kind of absorbed. Andrew Barton says Cash to Gabriel or Simicas. Gabriel, but I prefer Saliba. Should we hold Watkins is $1 million question. Let's wait for the news, but I'm leaning towards holding him. But then I've got other fires to fight. Stephen says Trippier and Simicas or Saliba and Pedro Porro. I think I go Saliba and Porro because Trippier's one off a ban. Simicas. When is Robertson back? Surely it's... not till January. Oh, you're all right then. Maybe Trippier and Simicas then. But it depends if you've got options from your bench to come in if Trippier gets a ban. Yeah, Watkins and Bowen is the news we're waiting for. Remember, we've got loads of press conferences coming up at 1:30, which is going to keep us very busy, especially because some of the 1 o'clock press conferences haven't happened yet either. So basically, it's all going to happen at the same time. Let me know in the chat what you're doing with Watkins. Are you holding him or are you selling him? I don't want to take the captain poll down at the moment, which is why I'm not put it on a poll. VJ says, let's get the stream to 250 likes. There's 520 of you in. So that means only 1 in 5 people has actually hit the like button yet. It's the easiest way of supporting the stream, by liking it. It'll get it out to more people. Oh, I've lost my place in the chat now. Andrew Barton says he's predicting Man City Spurs to be 4-2. Keeping Son and captaining Haaland. Yeah, I feel like it's the sort of game that Son could deliver in. FPL Harry is in and keeping Watkins. Most people, to be fair, are saying that they're holding Watkins this week. Eddie has said Cash and Martinelli out for one Arsenal. I have one Arsenal defender, Gabriel. Also have Saka and Bomo. I think you could get another Arsenal defender if you can get to Saliba. And then I like Gordon at the moment. Dredd is in as well. Said the stream's looking perfect on 3 different devices, which is good to know. I do keep getting a warning of something to do with bit rates, whatever that means. Harry will be telling me off because he's already explained bit rates to me once before. I'll blame the update I did on my Mac. I can't get my words out. Saka seems to be dividing opinion this week. Owners getting frustrated. People wanting to buy. I think he's a great buy, but don't think I'd captain him. Just because of the kind of assist threat rather than goal threat we're getting from him at the moment. Watkins news we'll get at 2:15. Bowen news we could get anytime soon. Aaron says, do you think Alisson has been carrying the Liverpool defence? Yeah, basically. Just, yeah. I do worry about that clean sheet potential coming up without him. Nuno asking for a friend. Is Watkins out or maybe not out? I'd say maybe not out, but we've got to wait till 2:15 for the press conference. I feel like the amount of injuries in FPL at the moment is the thing that's keeping my YouTube channel alive and kicking right now. But I won't complain. Let's see what's happening on this tweet deck. A lot of chat now is kind of coming more towards what's going on with the transfer window. I saw there was quotes from Thomas Frank about trying to hang on to Tony. She's obviously going to be a big one. Bit of a weird one at Brentford, and Bomo will go off to the African Cup of Nations in January, and Tony is kind of back at the same time. So we're going to have to deal with that all in one go. We've got a super chat in from Alex. Thank you, Alex. He says, I've got one free transfer. Which one sounds better? Gay out and replaced with Pinnock, or Eze out and replaced with Gibbs White or Gordon, or take a -4? I don't think I'd make the defensive transfer. I think Gay is a hold. 2 clean sheets in 6 is okay. I think there's good clean sheet potential in, 2 of the next 6 games, which again is fine. I'd make the attacking transfer because I think Eze, that kind of recurrence of the injury is a concern. Obviously, we'll get an update from Hodgson soon, but I like Gordon as a replacement. His predicted points are pretty good as well over the next kind of few weeks. He's 6th in the list. Obviously, if you've not got Mbomo, I would go there first, but I'm guessing that maybe you haven't got any spare funds. So I'd make that move. In terms of like the defensive picks, if we go under... How much is Gay? He's under 5, isn't he? Hang on, let me check. Yeah, it's 4.7. In terms of the budget picks, there are players kind of doing better in the predictions than him. Pinnock being a clear one there. But as I've mentioned already, defenders, it's a bit of a wasteland at the minute in terms of who you actually want. I think when there's no standouts, just stick with what you've got. I think if it was for an Arsenal defender, I'd be more for it. Thank you for the super chat, though, Alex. Hope that helps. We seem to have a glut of super chats because VJ in with one as well for a cappuccino and a mince pie. Thank you, VJ. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the excellent award-winning content. Yeah, I need to roll with this award-winning tagline a bit more, don't I, VJ? But yeah, thank you. Thanks very much for your continued support on the channel. If you want to support the channel, the easiest thing you can do is hit the like button. We're almost at 200 likes, nearly 600 of you in. Simon says Super Chat Friday. It does feel like there's a glut. And we've got Killer Rat has come in and gifted 10 memberships. So if you were one of them, make sure you thank Killer Rat in the chat. Femi, Feremi, Facts, Stephen Ty, Matty Berber, Tom O'Connell, Aaron, Loss, Dusty Birdman, and Nelson. You're a legend, Killer Rat. Thank you. If you got one of those, then go for it. And Killer Rat also says, well-deserved award. You are the best. If you missed the news at the Football Content Awards last month, the channel was best in fantasy football video. We won the gold award. And George decided just to come in with another super chat just to say, FPL Harry, you're a troll. I hope that's in jest, because I've only got good things to say about Harry and his content. I'm guessing it was. Let's see then if we've got any news from the press conferences yet. Arteta looks like he's warming up for his press conference. Klopp is in as well. Kabore back for Luton after his concussion is the news from Luton. I need Burke back soon as well. Harry says about George as a Crystal Palace defender. Yeah, it's going to be busy. This is what we've got coming up in the next few minutes then. I've not seen anything from Wolves yet, so that's to come. And then we've got Arsenal, Bournemouth, Brentford, Palace, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, West Ham, all coming up now. So strap yourselves in, guys. The big one that we want the news from is West Ham with Bowen flagged. We've got people waiting on news for Kudus as well. So it's going to be eventful. I can see that FPL Nim has joined us as well. She says, hey, good to see you, Nim. Are you streaming later? What time are you streaming? I think I'll be done at 2:30. So if you want me to send people your way, if you are streaming, then let me know. Go give Nim a follow as well. She's on the road to 7k. I don't think you're far off, Nim. So hopefully get there before the end of the year. Right. I'll put the tweet deck up. We've got another super chat in from Paul Hayes, so I'll cover that one as well. Paula says, what to do with Alvarez, Darwin or hold? I like the move for Darwin, to be fair, if you've got Alvarez at the moment. I'm tempted to play this video from Klopp, but I don't know how long it is. Let's turn the sound up, see what it does. Not great audio. Yeah, it's not doesn't sound like that was going to be particularly interesting. We'll get some quotes soon anyway. Hodgson says Decore has snapped his Achilles tendon. Ouch. Hopefully he won't be out for the season, but possible. I'd say it's more than likely. I can't seem to bookmark that, which doesn't help me. Let's give the tweet deck a refresh. Can't have technology failing on us at this important time. Ten Hag is in. Ten Hag has said Mason Mount is training outdoors again, but no return date set. If anyone was itching to get Mason Mount in their teams, you've got a little bit longer to wait. It's all going to come in all at once. I can just tell this is the calm before the storm. While we're waiting for them, I'm just going to make sure I've not missed any members' questions. I did lose my place in the chat, which doesn't help. I remember the days where I could answer everyone's question in the chat. No fresh injury concerns for Arteta, which is great news. Linford is at 136k overall. That's impressive. Shamil says, who to captain, Haaland or Salah? I'm going to be on Salah, I think. I just like Salah's home record. He's a midfielder, so he accumulates points quicker. His home record, a goal, a goal, a goal, a brace, another goal, a brace. That's his record at Anfield this season. That's why I'm going Salah. Just making sure that I've not missed any member questions. Akshat said, I took out Zinchenko due to Arsenal being the best defence. Oh, cash out for Zinchenko because Arsenal's defence is the best. I agree with that. Klopp has said that Kelleher is prepared for number one duties and he trusts him. Looks like Tomiyasu and White are playing for new contracts. Which will be interesting. No big news from Marco Silva regarding injuries. Killerat says he's holding Watkins and Bowen no matter what. Sometimes it's been particularly tough this season, FPL, in terms of the decision making that we've had to do. Bournemouth will be without Lloyd Kelly. No other injury concerns. Max Aarons, Tyler Adams, Alex Scott and Ryan Fredericks are all out. Not great on the injury front, is it? Richarlison closest to being back for Spurs. Yeah, and note that if Arteta said no fresh injury concerns, that means that White could be back. It's all going to come all at once, isn't it? Simon said if Spurs play 4 fullbacks against City, they're going to get battered. Yeah, that's the argument for Captain Haaland. Because Romero's still suspended, isn't he? And Van der Ven's obviously out injured. Harry said he didn't think Palace will keep a clean sheet again this year. Well, I mean, there are a lot of other options at Palace. I just don't like taking the -4 for a defender this week. I think if you can do a free transfer next week to upgrade a defensive position, that's probably better, particularly because Palace have got a better fixture. Good news for Eze in that he won't need surgery. Probably won't need surgery. So hopefully he's not out for too long. Light Race says, has your award arrived yet? No. I spoke to Ed on Monday and he said he was putting it in the post on Tuesday. So you never know. What if it came on stream? If the doorbell went, I'd have to go and see. Watkins update is at 2:15. David Moyes' press conference is now. So we shouldn't have long to wait for the updates. Chuck says, thoughts on Gordon to Mbomo. Feels a bit sideways. I really like Gordon still. Find another route from Mbomo. Again, I feel like I've lost my place in the chat again. Jermaine says legendary FPL content creators. Yeah, it's good to see so many others joining me today. Klops has said on Kelleher, we see him every day in training. Maybe we don't mention his name often enough, but since day one, this will be our homegrown boy who will make it. That's a vote of confidence. Akshat has been a member for 5 months at a premium pick. Thank you, Akshat. I have Eze, Bowen and Watkins who were flagged. Not sure what to do. Already have on Mbomo, Son and Salah. Well, Eze's going to be out the longest. So that's who I would deal with. And I mean, if you can get to Saka, have you got 2 free transfers? If you can get to Saka and you've got 2 free transfers, I'd do that. But if not, Gordon. I like Gordon. Watkins isn't thought to be a big issue. Neither is Bowen. Obviously, we'll get news today. But I think sell the most injured player is the advice. VJ said 600 of us, only half of us have liked. It's even worse than that. Only a third, pretty much, have liked the stream. And if you don't subscribe to the channel yet, please do. Around half the people that watch my content don't subscribe. I'm still hopeful to get to 30k by the end of the year. We've only got a month to do it, so I need every subscriber. So if you're watching and you haven't hit the subscribe button, now is the time to do it. It is a long, long wait for David Moyes' press conference, which is meant to be on now. We've had updates from Arsenal, Bournemouth, Palace, Liverpool, United. So it's the West Ham one is the one we want though, and Villa then at 2:15. Killer Rat bought Eze last week. So frustrating. I can imagine. It was the move to make, but obviously not the right outcome. VJ got in Reece James though, which is even worse. Eddie said about the Arsenal fullbacks, Tomiyasu, White, Zinchenko, you got rotation. Gabriel and Saliba are nailed on. Yes, Saliba even more than Gabriel. I think you're going to get what you pay for there. We'll get some early subs for White and Zinchenko before 60 minutes and there'll be outrage. Killer Rat says I'm way behind the chat. Yeah, I think I'm getting there now though, hopefully. Apparently I need to buckle up because the chat's sprinting. Yeah, to be fair, I can't afford the channel to grow any bigger because I'm never gonna keep up. Linford said something about a WhatsApp group. Is there a WhatsApp group I'm not part of? I was tempted to make a new membership level for the channel with a WhatsApp group. So let me know in the chat if that's something that would be of interest. Oh, Akshat was another one that got Eze. Taylor said, 2 free transfers, want to roll one. Turner to Kelleher, any good? Yeah, if you've got no other issues, then I don't mind the move for Turner. David Moyes is in the building, so this is going to be important. What update are we going to get? Quite a few saying yes for the WhatsApp group. Black Box have got the WhatsApp group. I'll look at setting it up. Probably won't be this week because with the midweek game week, it's just going to be carnage. I basically all the work that I normally do in a week, I've got to do it twice next week. So probably by next Friday, I might not be as enthusiastic as I am now. But yeah, probably after that, I'll get it set up. David fancies Akanji as a differential. What do I think? I don't love it. I think you just need reliable players that are always going to play heading into Christmas. And Akanji is not that and blanks in 18. Regan said it took a -8 for Salah. Worth it in the long run. Yeah, absolutely. Harry's got a WhatsApp group. Sounds like the way to go. I feel like you lot just chat outside of the stream without me. It's basically my ploy to get to speak to you all more. Killer Rat uses the lazy FPL one. Yeah, do that. Simon, you need to set a hard limit at Black Box. It's been set to 50. I mean, I'd be thrilled if I could even get to 50. But yeah, point taken. I think to make it work, it needs to be smaller. Yeah, I'll put it on my to-do list, not for next week, but the week after. Bowen news should be coming up any minute. We've seen that Moyes is in the building. And then Watkins news is coming up in half an hour, hopefully. Itum Leng says the whole game week is riding on Bowen being fit. I can see that happening. Hopefully we get the news that you want. Pranav says, do UK people use WhatsApp or are they like Americans? What do Americans do? We all use WhatsApp here. Kelleher will be Liverpool's keeper for the next few. He's under 4 million. Frees up money. Joshua putting a quote in on Moyes, which basically says, Jarrod, of course, has an injury. I'll pick it up with a medical team and we'll see later this afternoon. What is that? That's a rubbish update. I feel sorry for any Bowen owners. I'll add it, of course, to the ticker at the bottom. Oh, Harry says he's just tweeted quotes. I can't see them, Harry. Have they gone through? Or is it just mine not loading? That's ridiculous. Sorry, anyone that does own. Because it doesn't help. Adam has joined at the budget pick. Thank you, Adam. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the quote prepared from Moyes. Moyes on Bowen. There we go. I'm going to have to update this in 2 places, but hopefully you can follow what's going on. So that should come up on your screen now, if it loads. Had an injury. I'll pick up with a medical team and we'll see later this afternoon. That is not helpful at all. So I'm very sorry, Bowen owners. I think if it was me and I owned Bowen, I would sell him, quite frankly. Because that's just useless news. It's not helpful at all. But he's obviously, I think the fact he's kind of deceiving us on the information makes me think that maybe it's more serious than we hoped for. It's just annoying. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm trying to update this quote on the other screen, but I don't think it's going to work for me. So I'm just going to leave it for now. Shall I mean, the captain poll's at 50% Haaland, 44% Salah. Killer Rat says, no, I'm not selling. So, Bowen owners, keep or sell. It looks, I'm getting the impression from the chat that most of you are just doubling down on this. Harry has set up a dislike button for David Moyes on Twitter. I mean, I think in terms of the troll list of FPL managers, of Premier League managers, I think David Moyes has got himself well up there now. I'm just making sure that we've not missed anything else while I've been playing around with the graphics. More frustrations at Wolves with VAR. I can't blame them for. Currently 64% of Bowen owners are looking to sell, with 36% in the camp of keep. I think I would sell. There's only so long that you can kind of limp through with players and get deceived by managers without thinking enough's enough. Particularly when we've got that midweek round of games coming up as well. Do we get anything on Kudus? A question from Fremi, which I missed before. Is Saka worth it or get a Dingra to Martinelli? Don't mind Saka, particularly if you've got 2 free transfers and no other issues. That's the situation where I'd do it. Akshat says, who's the better pick, Gordon or Palmer? I just feel like Gordon's got more longevity. Palmer, you've got the likes of Nkunku, certainly in the mix to come back for Chelsea. And then you don't know where Palmer's going to be in the pecking order. Fact says Elanga or Gordon. Got to be Gordon. Apparently, Andrew says apparently if you don't like the channel, you get a -4. I love that analogy. If you don't subscribe, if you're watching and you don't subscribe, it's a -4 in FPL. That would make life easier. I'd definitely get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Lots of love for the WhatsApp chat. So I will set that up in the next week or so. John just joined. What's the verdict on Bowen? Ship him to Mbomo? Yeah, that's what I'd do. It's kind of 60-40 on the voting for sell v hold. Well, that's what I would do. Pranav says Americans don't use WhatsApp, they use iMessage. But iMessage is Apple, yeah? And not everyone has an iPhone. We've still got the Watkins news to come. I think we've had all the 1:30 press conferences. Well, I've not seen anything on Kudus either, for whoever was asking. But yeah, 2:15 is Aston Villa with the Watkins news. So you need to make sure that you're sticking around for that one as well. Adam has said, hi all, new subscriber here. Thanks very much, Adam. Eze for Elise or Palmer. I prefer Gordon of all of those. I think the fixtures aren't strong enough right now for Elise. Palmer, I just prefer Gordon just because he's got a bit more longevity. But both are good options. If we have a look at the predicted points for midfielders over the next few game weeks. I know my computer's going a bit crazy there with notifications and stuff. In terms of in that budget price category, it's Gordon ahead of Palmer, but only by about 1 predicted point. You've got a Dingra in there as well. But yeah, one of those two. Still need to make my moves, but just still waiting for news on Watkins. Killerat says, I cannot convince him to sell Bowen. It's not for me to convince you. I'm just giving my opinion. Borough Lewis says, got to sell Bowen. 3 games in the next 9 days. Fluid on the need. Can't take the risk. I think there's plenty going on behind the scenes. Akshat says, first it was Eze, now it's Bowen. I think I'll keep Archer as my first sub and then see next week. Simon's part of the sell Bowen crew. Nelson sold Bowen for Mbomo on Sunday out of frustration. I don't think you'll regret that. Still waiting for the Villa press conference, which is coming soon. Killrat says, I don't even know who I'd buy if I sold Bowen. I'm guessing you've got Mbomo. Saka, if you've not got him. Other than that, Palmer or Gordon. Oh, patriotic Americans all buy iPhones, even though they're made in China. Dusty Birdman's going to skip the possibility of re-asking already asked questions. What's the Darwin conversation been? There hasn't been a Darwin conversation yet, but I think if I was to decide to sell Watkins, which I do think I'm going to hold him, if I was to sell Watkins, it would be for Darwin. He started all of the last 4, played a decent amount of minutes in them. Big vote of confidence from Klopp to play him in the City game. 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 4 games. Fixtures are nice. Jota's out. And in terms of his predicted points for this game week and over the next 4 game weeks, he's in the top 5. He's actually predicted to score more points than Saka over the next 5 game weeks. And in addition, if you have a look at the Opta stats over the last 4 game weeks, Darwin is top for shots on target, second for shots in the box, second for big chances, fourth for expected goals. So his underlying numbers always tend to be good, but they're very good at the moment. Remember, all of these tools that I'm showing you are available for Fantasy Football Hub members, but you can get a 30-day free trial right now, which will get you advice for the next 6 game weeks for absolutely free. So you can try it out, and if you're not enjoying it, then you can cancel, but you will get 30% off your membership if you do choose to continue it after that point. And you can get your my team involved in there. You can get the points predictions. You can get your AI transfers each game week. Let me just put that back up on screen so you can see it. So you can get your AI transfers each week. I'm running the AI team actually using all the hub tools, and it's doing pretty well. It's not doing as well as the experts team, but it's 300k overall right now. Last week it decided to play Baldock over Simicast and Cash, which really helped. My AI transfers for this week are to sell Watkins for Darwin, or sell Diaby and Watkins for Gordon and Darwin, which is interesting. I think the thing I was conscious of is Cash. I don't really want to play Cash away at Bournemouth. But yeah, go check it out if you're not a Fantasy Football Hub member already. Dusty Birdman said congrats on the award. Thank you. Still can't believe it. I haven't physically got the award yet, though, which doesn't help in terms of my belief that it was real and it actually happened. Just going to hop back on the tweet deck and see if there's anything else coming in at the moment. I think we'll have a little bit of a lull now until 1:15, which is the Villa press conference. FPL NIM is going live at 2:35, by the way, guys. So please go her way when I'm done. I'm just getting the link so I can send you her way. That works, doesn't it? Send you her way. Ben's rounded up on Brighton, who are the only team without a pre-match press conference for Game Week 14. Milner and Igor return to the matchday squad in Athens. Matoma also returned in that game as well. So some quite positive news there, I guess. Doesn't look like there's anything else coming in at the moment. So that means that for the next 10-15 minutes, I can concentrate on answering your questions. I must admit, completely lost my place in the chat. So I'm just going to answer the ones that I can see at the top of my screen already. Honest Football Fan says, what website do you use to follow the press conferences? I use X Pro on Twitter. If you go on the Twitter desktop site and go more and then Pro, that'll take you to this column view. And then I've set up lists from news journalists and outlets, the athletics journalists, the Premier League clubs, and then kind of the who I see as the trusted advisors in the FPL community on Twitter. This is the quote on Kudus from Moyes. Because we're only just back from Serbia, we'll find out any injury news a bit later. We left several behind because they had viruses and flu-like symptoms, but we'll find out later today. Kudus, Kulfal and Alvarez were among those missing from the matchday squad. So hopefully that helps you guys. Paynton says, any big outs? No, nothing that we weren't aware of already. That TPS player says Jesus or Archer. Gotta be Jesus, surely. Killer Rat says, best midfielder replacements if I buckle and sell Bowen. Saka, if you've not got him already. And Bomo, if you've not got him already. And then Gordon. They're like my top three. I think those three are comfortably ahead of the rest at the moment. Adrian not going for Kelleher because he already has 2 Liverpool players and don't want to block Darwin. Yeah, I think that's wise, to be fair. Oh, Killer has told me who he's got already. I see the difficulty. He's got Saka, Salah and Bomo and Gordon, which are basically the 4 that I mentioned. And then it's you're guessing after that. Who's your first sub? I guess that's the other question. I see a dilemma because you're kind of on the optimal midfield. Linford says, what do you think of Solanke as the third striker option? I like him for this week. My husband's got Solanke in his team. The fixtures remain nice. I think he's fine. Let's have a look at the predicted points among forwards. He's 9th, I think. There's not a lot between quite a few of them. He wouldn't be the first one I'd buy, but I think he's okay. Dusty Birdman says, I took a -4 this week. Pickford for Raya, Alvarez for Darwin, and Matoma for Palmer. So basically you've taken a hit for a goalkeeper. Wouldn't be the strategy that I would go for, but hopefully it'll pay off for you. Just a Dad said, definitely deserve the award, Holly. Also, love the press conference streams, a staple part of FPL content for the week. Thank you. Oh, that's a lovely comment. Thank you for that. Honestly, it means the world to, well, first of all, like each week, I think, like I pinch myself, like 700 people watching me right now, which is just crazy. But yeah, to get all the support from you guys, there's over 300 of you who've liked the stream as well. It's just brilliant. Simon's avoiding Kudus. Yeah, I think you've got to. VJ needing to do a -12 to get Haaland back. You've made your bed now, haven't you? Akshat, thoughts on Eze to Saka and Bowen to Elanga? Purely because of fixtures. Don't hate it. I don't know how much I love Elanga. He's okay. But if it gets you to Saka easily, then so be it. VJ says heard Alisson's back in a few weeks. Yeah, I think he's out for the next 3. That's weeks, not games. Linford said he's out for 5 games. I think that includes the Champions League midweeks. Willie said you deserve the... Why can't I speak today? You deserve the award, Holly. Congratulations. We all voted for you. Thank you. First sub killer at Archer. What about a defensive? Have you got a better defensive first sub? I mean, Archer's got the fixture. Have you got Watkins as well, though? -4 for Pickford to Rayos purely being over Everton. You've done well to get this far, to be fair. There was a lot of people over Everton after, like, a game. Hudson-Odoi maybe play on the left and not Elanga this week. That would put the cat amongst the pigeons. Tom O'Connell may be dropping Alvarez for Isaac. Does this make sense? I wouldn't take the hit just to afford it. I think you could just as easily do it next week. I think Spurs at home is a good fixture for Alvarez. Kellerat's got Watkins, Porro and Branthwaite. I think you're probably going to have to do it. Beardy is joining us. He says, hi, Holly. What happened to Watkins? He was rested. I'll just swap screens so you can see the quote. He was rested in the UEFA Europa Conference League last night. But when asked whether it was a rest or an injury, he said he had a small pain, not very strong. We decided as well to rest him. But then he said he hasn't said that he'll absolutely be back for Bournemouth. But the press conference from Emery is at 2:15. So hopefully only 5 minutes to wait. And Pedro Neto unavailable for Wolves. Mark Quinn has joined at the budget pick. Thank you, Mark. We're doing really well today for new members. So thank you everyone that has gone for it today. I'm sure all the other members are going to give you a warm welcome in the chat now. Yeah, we're waiting for this press conference from Emery. I will be honest, Villa's press conference is normally at 2:30 like clockwork every week. So there's a chance that it comes a bit later than maybe what we're expecting. But if that's the case, then at least it just gives more time to answer your questions. And I do then need to figure out, once we've got Watkins news, exactly what I'm going to do in terms of my transfers this week. Questions on Kudus. I think he was ill. David Moyes hasn't told us that he is back, but I think you've got to hope that he is. Right now, 62% looking to sell Bowen. Tom, it's Killerat that you need to thank. Let's have a rundown then while we're waiting for the Villa press conference of all the press conference news that we've had already today, before we get this news on Watkins, which I know that we're all waiting for. So this was the quote on Kudus, that he hasn't had time basically to check on everyone that missed yesterday's game through illness. Ben predicting that Jones and Matip are likely to start against Fulham. Diaz could keep his place with Jota injured. Kelleher potentially first of 5 games in place of Alisson, who is out. Eze's injury not thought to be serious, as in he might not need surgery, but it's certainly going to be out for a bit. Bentancur going to be out for a bit for Spurs. Richarlison closest to coming back. Bournemouth will be without Lloyd Kelly. We've also got no injury concerns at Arsenal, nothing significant at Fulham. Mason Mount on his way back for United, but not yet. Kabore back after concussion for Brentford. Pape Sarr isn't available for Spurs. Nkunku and Lavia are late fitness tests for Chelsea. Kovacic is back for Man City. Nunes is also close. Stones will be in the squad as well. Killerat's gone and gifted another 10 memberships. Wow, Killerat, you are on one today. Thank you so much. I think we're getting up to like 23, 24 new members today. This is phenomenal. Those that got them: Alex, Moaz, Cambiz, Willie, David, Scott, Robert, The Life of Jay, Adarsh, and Punjabi, and May. So if you were one of those, Killerat, you're a legend. Make sure that you are thanking Killerat for those. Botman responding well to treatment, but not back yet for Newcastle. Barnes and Wilson remain out. This is what we had from Watkins yesterday. Hopefully we'll get the update on that very, very soon. And then Onana is unlikely for Everton. Calvert-Lewin is being managed, but Beto is likely. Nothing major from Burnley either. So that's the roundup. Unai Emery's press conference could be now. We're just waiting for it. So keep an eye out. I'll tell you what, I'll keep the tweet deck open. Interestingly, and I didn't realise this, the FPL Cup kicks off in game week 15. So I think you need to avoid a disaster this week to qualify for the Cup. Or maybe it works differently. Fixtures will be determined at the end of game week 14. If there are 16 million teams, each team will have an opponent in game week 15. Some teams will receive a bye based on their score in game week 14. That's good then. So you can't not qualify for the Cup, which I think is a change from other years. But if you do well this week, then you get a bye through the first round. I think one year I kind of got maybe into the last 1,000 in the cup. Like 8 game weeks to go. Just a little quirk to note, especially if you're having a bad season. Thank you again, Killer Rat, for gifting those memberships. That's the firmer news on Eze by the looks of it. I've had a little bit of snow here and I can hear people crunching outside. It's the postman. It hasn't knocked on the door though, which means no award today. Ben has said we'll hear from Emery soon, expecting an update on Watkins. We need it now. Killer Rat mopping up plenty of thank yous from the people that were gifted memberships. Dr. Waleed says, how far can Alisson be dropped in price till he comes back? Probably not really any further than where he started. Has he had a rise this season? Yeah. Probably only back down 0.1. Some that own him will probably still hold him anyway and maybe play the backup if they've got a backup. Azro, Diaby to Saka for a -4. Yeah, probably do that. Samir says Gabriel or Zinchenko. Maybe Zinchenko just, but I do think Saliba is the one to go for. Ben White, I think the fact that he's been injured and the fact that he's prone to early subs is the thing that puts me off. Michael said, what's the point of the cup? It's just a different dynamic in FPL, isn't it? I think if you're having a bad season, it becomes more interesting. Willie says, was I gifted a membership? And I think it was a different Willie. You're not the only one, I'm afraid. Killer Rat said, thanks for being so interactive and helping out our FPL dilemmas. You didn't need to give 20 memberships, though. Nah, it's great to have legends like you in the chat, Killer Rat. Mark says, currently have Saka, Salah, Palmer, Son and He-Chan. Thinking of dropping Son for Mbomo and a front three of Archer, Watkins and Haaland. Darwin in for Watkins if unfit. Yeah, I think I would drop Son for Mbomo now. I think he's the key one that maybe you're missing in your midfield at the moment. And then Archer, Watkins and Haaland. Yeah, it depends on what we get from Watkins. I'm leaning towards holding Watkins. Hisham says, best cash replacement. I've got Gabriel, Simicas and Mitchell. Depends on your funds. If you can get to Saliba, I'd buy him. If not, I like Pinnock. Mohammed says Son is a hold no matter what. I'm not convinced. Killer Rat says we have a lot of snow here in Sweden. Yeah, I'm not going to turn my camera now to show you the pathetic amount of snow we've got here. I'd describe it as a dusting that's since melted anyway. It's just ice that's getting crunched on. Yeah, compared to what you've got in Sweden, this is pretty pathetic. But we don't get the snow very often, which is why we get very excited about it. But I've got a 4-hour drive down to London this afternoon, ready for tomorrow's Sky Sports show. So hopefully the weather isn't that bad out there. Eddie says, if I'm doing Cash and Martinelli out, should I do a -4 to take out Bowen, or do I keep? I would keep Martinelli and get rid of Bowen, especially because we've got Jesus back for Arsenal, which are nice fixtures for Arsenal, which I think will help Martinelli. I don't think Henry's conference was coming up at 2:15. I think we were lied to. I think it's probably coming up at 2:30. I did mention that earlier. So stick with me if you're still here. There's 750 of you still watching, which is amazing. While we're waiting, feel free to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub and get your 30-day free trial, which will get you access to all of the tools for the next 30 days to cover you for the next 6 game weeks. Link is in the description and pinned in the chat. David said it's not winter yet and it's too cold. It is winter, isn't it? I thought 1st of December is officially winter. And advent calendars. There was a lot of excitement from 2 little girls in my house this morning over the advent calendars. In fact, my younger daughter, who is asking just for chocolate for Christmas from Santa, had 3 chocolate coins for breakfast and didn't want anything else. So I think we're going to be on just chocolate for breakfast now for a while. David says, where do you keep your award? I'm still waiting for it to arrive. I need to put it... It's like a glass kind of circular like block, basically. So I need to keep it out of harm's way. So while I'd love to put it on the shelf in my office behind me, which you can't see at the moment because I've got the green screen, it could get broken there. So I may have to keep it somewhere a bit safer than that. Killer Rat says, my kids love advent calendars too. Chocolate for breakfast is a winner, isn't it? Dan James. Are you the Dan James? I've got Watkins, Bowen and Cash, but desperate to get Saliba in. Can you go from Cash to Saliba? Seems quite luxury though with Watkins and Bowen issues. I think selling Bowen is the priority this week. Dr. Waleed has gone from Alisson to Raya. I like that move. He was back in, wasn't he, in the Champions League after he was ineligible to play against Brentford. But they've made the move permanent now, haven't they? They've activated the buy clause. Vardiol or Stones? Neither. Too much rotation in City defence. Asro, Diaby to Saka for a -4. Yeah, do it. Dusty Birdman, holding Son, I want as little headache as possible for AFCON and the Game Week 18 blank. Sorry to break it to you, but there's the Asia Cup as well. Nathan says, I'm really struggling with money this season. Feel like I started with the wrong squad and my team value is terrible. Yeah, I do feel like if you have a bad start in FPL, you really are punished by it. I think my team value is pretty healthy, but obviously the squad I started with, which was decent, which helps. I'm at 103.2 million. But you look at the squad I started with, if it's going to load. I had a Stupinan and Chilwell who were big risers early on. And Bomo I've had since the start. Salah I've had since the start. I think Saka's been out and come back in. Maddison rose pretty heavily to begin with as well. So all of that really helped my team. Gosh, Game Week 1 feels like a while ago now. Simon said, what's your Christmas schedule for streaming, Holly? Good question. I'm just making sure I'm not missed the Watkins news before we go off on another tangent. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do on Tuesday yet. The thing that I don't know is when the press conferences will be. If there's a lot of press conferences on Tuesday afternoon ahead of Wednesday's games, which I think there will be, I'll probably do a press conference stream on Tuesday. And I'm also going to do a deadline stream on Tuesday. And then Friday press conference stream as normal next week, and I'm doing a deadline stream next Saturday as well, because I think this is my last time on Sky in the studio this year before January. And then so then there's going to be a few weeks where there's going to be a press conference stream and a deadline stream, another press and deadline stream the following Friday. And then I'm not sure about this week here, game week 18, because I don't know if there'll be any press conferences on the Thursday. If there's a few press conferences on the Thursday, I may do one as well. And then I think on Boxing Day, I'm on Sky Sports. So it's going to be there'll be no content on the channel for game week 19, because the game week 18 fixtures don't finish until the afternoon of Christmas Eve, and then it's a Boxing Day deadline at 11 a.m. So I'm not going to get anything done for that. And then it'll be, if there's any press conferences for game week 20, there'll be a press conference stream as normal for game week 20 and the deadline stream. So quite a few deadline streams, but not for 18 and 19. So hopefully that helps you out with that schedule. Right, Watkins news should be coming at any time. Nothing major coming from Thomas Frank. I think it's been quite a few weeks since I've done a deadline stream, so I'm looking forward to getting back to them on Tuesday. So anyone that can join me for Tuesday, I know I've not been around for a bit, and you've probably got other places where you normally go, but if you can join me and support, that'd be great. Killer Rat says, what do you think of doubling up on Arsenal mids? Yeah, don't mind it at all. Let's see what the predictions say, because I feel like I'd go... Hang on, what's gone here? I've not selected all. Yeah, Martinelli and Odegaard, there's not a lot in the predicted points between them. I think with Jesus back, I think they'll all do pretty well. Odegaard didn't take a penalty against Lens and he was still on the pitch. Havertz took it. So I don't know what that means for the penalty situation at Arsenal. So if you buy an Odegaard for the extra 45 penalties, I don't think it's worth it. Martinelli has massively underperformed this season, but I think with him and Jesus fit together, I think they could do pretty well in the next few weeks. Simon says, a few of us will want to give you some Christmas super chats to send you off on the holidays. Well, I will get ready to... I will set up that WhatsApp members tier. I mean, if I get time today, which I may have some time, depending on how long we need to wait for the Villa thing, then I can set it up today. But I think maybe YouTube just takes a little bit of time to approve it, I believe. I'll need to set up the chat and get the invitation. It'll be good though. FPL Nim getting ready for her stream. She said pop over after Holly's stream. So I will put the link in the chat for that once we're done here as well. Rasmus says, who's the best Bowen replacement? Saka and Bomo, Gordon. N7 says, start Trippier or Tsimikas. Got to be Trippier. Yeah, I think I know how. I think I'll be all right setting it up, Simon. But yeah, if you want, if I need an admin, and you'd like to do that, then we can definitely get that sorted out as well, mate. Where is Emery? That's the question. Can't see any sign of him yet. Let's give a little search. Thank you, mods, for all the kind offers. There's no sign of Emery yet. I'm tempted to turn the television on and see what's going on. Because he's normally like clockwork. But it does give us time to do some more questions. The tweet deck's open. We're just waiting for the Villa press conference, which is normally at 2:30. Was rumoured to be at 2:15. Clearly hasn't been. This is what we had yesterday. Had a small pain, not very strong. We decided as well to rest him. So we will see. Emma says, any good forwards? Got Watkins and Solanke so far, but undecided. Yeah, quite like Darwin now. Hayden says, is Eze out? Yes, he's a sell. N7, should I start Son, He-Chan or Arch? You've got to start Son. He's on pens. Richard, if Watkins and Bowen are out, I think Darwin and Saka for a -4. Free transfer on Mbomo. Well, yeah, I think that can pay off. VJ says we're nearly at 400 likes, which is impressive. We're at 393. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. We're nearly at 28,300 subscribers, which is pretty impressive considering I can't actually remember. Did we hit 28k on stream last week? Was it last week? The weeks just blend into one after a while. I'm pretty sure it was last week. What was it, the 24th last week? So I think we've done another 200 subscribers in a week. But we've only got... If we do game weeks until the end of the year... This is game week 13. We've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it may fall just short. But I think it could be on, you know. I mean, I know I've already said I'm not doing any content for game week 19. That doesn't help. But 28.3k... is the next target of subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching and you're enjoying it, please make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. I'm trying to show it on screen, but I've no idea if it's going to load or not. There we go. While we're waiting for this press conference, which is taking absolutely forever, we can get that set up. I'm just trying to have a look at the memberships thing as well. Which has moved places, I think, on YouTube, just to try and confuse me. You can tell when it's been Friday just by having a look at my... every time it jumps up a bit, it's been a Friday and it's been a stream. No, we're going down. Who's sending it down? No, getting rid of it if it's going down. That's no good. Do we want the tweet deck back open? I don't know where Emery is. at all. It's like he's disappeared into the abyss. Basically, he's just not playing ball so that we don't get any of the press conference news. Sorry, guys, I thought I had a sneeze coming, but it hasn't come. Oh, dear. Toby says Alvarez and Diaby for Mbomo and Nunes. Or Foster and Diaby out and bankrupt. I like the move for Mbomo and Nunes. Trippier is just the most attacking defender, N7, that's why. Ali says, should I go Martinelli to Saka? Yeah, I think so. Finn, Gordon or Palmer? Gordon for me. David said the mods are doing a great job. They always do a great job. I think I've got the best mods of any FPL YouTube channel. That's the latest award we're taking. N7 also asked, should I start He-Chan or Archer? Son, it's got to be Son. Mark says Isaac's fixtures mean he's a shout over Darwin. I just don't trust his fitness. Bowen is a sell for me. In the chat, 63% of Bowen owners looking to sell. Adam says, come on, Emery, good evening. I hope he's not here till evening. As I said, I'm going to be getting in the car in just over an hour to get down to London, ready for Sky Sports tomorrow. We're on 428 likes on the stream, which is pretty good as well. Dr. Waleed, is Maguire worth buying? I mean, 3 clean sheets in a row, but I feel like luck's going to run out. Fremi, -4, Saka, Palmer, Isaac in for Watkins, Adingra, Diaby. Don't hate it. I think a tactical -4 could work this week. Nigel the Crab. Sorry, I've not called you by your proper name. I owned Maguire, but I've dropped him for the current run. Yeah, I think it's fixtures, isn't it? That's an issue. Keep your eye on the community page, by the way, because when I sort out this WhatsApp group tier level, that will be where it is. That's where you'll see that I've got it set up. I mean, I'd do it now, but I think I need to get it a bit more organised. I think what I'll do is I'll put the captain pick tier as the WhatsApp tier. But I have to properly set up the group and that. I've got a Discord channel as well, by the way, if anyone wanted to support and interact with each other there. I don't know where Emery's press conference is. Killer Rat's given up. He says, need to go get the kids. See you later. Thank you, Killer Rat, for supporting the stream. And make sure if you were one of the 20 people that got a membership from Killer Rat that you've said thank you. We all appreciate it. Simon didn't even know that we had a Discord. Linford says, are you doing any members content? No, not doing anything, any member streams or anything like that at the moment. I think I'd like to say the link for the Discord is in the description. However, I'm not convinced. If you go on my link tree, which is in the description, there's a link to the Discord. And I think there's like, in about 8 seconds, panning through on screen will be a, there's a QR code for the Discord. I know if you're on mobile, that doesn't help. I'll get a better thing in for the Discord. That's what I need to do. Oh, I'll tell you what, I can get a link for the Discord, can't I? I mean, that involves me looking for it myself, which I can do that. I feel like we're just catching up on admin while we're waiting for the Villa press conference. I honestly don't know where it is. And I wouldn't mind, but it's a week where we're waiting for news. Like, normally it's not that important because we don't need it. Moaz said, has anything been mentioned on Kudus other than illness? Which, no, it hasn't. Tom said Killerat is my captain this week. He ought to be. Yeah, a lot of Maguire owners look like they're selling this week, judging by the chat. Mohammed says, should I get Saka for Game Week 15 v Luton or another mid? Get Saka. Ollie Watkins is a doubt. This is the quote that I've just seen, a Bakar tweet. He's going to be a doubt for Sunday. He's not completely unavailable. We're going to wait for tomorrow and see if we can take a risk with him or not. We will see how he feels about facing the demands in 90 minutes we're going to face on Sunday. The problem is, this is Villa's easiest fixture in the next 3 in a congested schedule. Now, if you're Unai Emery, do you play Watkins, who's got an issue, against Bournemouth when you've got, on Sunday, when you've got City on Wednesday at home and Arsenal on Saturday at home? I don't think you do. And if that's the best of the 3 fixtures, then what do you do? Like, if you're missing him for that game, like, what is even the point at that point? Oh, gosh. FPL is so frustrating. Sorry, guys. It's not what we wanted, is it? This game is so frustrating. Oh, dear. I'm tempted to sell, you know. That's what I'm leaning towards. So I'm just trying to get the quote on screen. But I just need to play around with the size to get it all in. What's everyone thinking? I'll put a poll up again. Let me just export this so that you can see the quote. What is FPL doing to us this season? Again, I just think with the fixtures, the way they are, we're a bit stuck. Like, what can you do with that? He's not going to risk him, is he? This is the issue. He's not going to risk him in the easier of the 3 fixtures in the space of a week. And then at that point, then you've not got him for the best of the 3 fixtures. And then you've got City at home and Arsenal at home. Right, let me put it to a poll. I'm tempted to sell. Watkins, keep or sell? I might be taking another -4 this week at this rate. I'm getting the impression that a lot of you are thinking the same. What is FPL doing to us? Benji says most exciting FPL season. Yeah. I don't think Watkins is going to play. Phoenix said, better to play Archer or 4-5-1 with Haaland up top. Who comes into your defence over Archer? I think I'm going to sell. Then it's Isaac or Darwin. We'll be figuring it out in the WhatsApp later when I've set up the WhatsApp. Let's compare Isaac and Darwin Núñez then. I think I've always been less than complimentary about Darwin Núñez, but in a fight between him and Isaac, it's Darwin that's winning in my head. Does it help Diaby? Does Diaby become a better pick if Watkins is out? That's my next question. I don't know what the answer is. What I wanted to look at was Ben Dinnery's predicted lineups on the hub, but now I'm on the hub, I can't see them. Yeah, this is it, look. Right now, I feel like I could sell all 3 of my Villa players for a -4. And get in Saliba, Gordon, and Darwin. There's Gabriel Jesus. I need to think about this. I would have liked to make a decision on the stream, but I'm going to need a bit more time to think about it. Mohammed said he scored last night. Steve says Darwin can't hit a barn door. I need to think about it. I just look at those fixtures for Villa, and if Watkins has got a little injury, you're going to rest him against Bournemouth and play him against City and Arsenal. Oh, FPL is so frustrating. Linford said WhatsApp. Yeah, I'm going to... The top membership tier, the captain pick tier, I'm going to make that a WhatsApp group at that tier for members. That's my plan, Linford, but I haven't done it yet. I'll set it up after this. %54% sell, 46% hold is the vote on the poll. I'm leaning towards selling Watkins. I don't know who for yet. I need to think about it. I think I'll make my transfers tomorrow once I've decided exactly what I'm doing. But at the moment, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But he's a 50-50. The AI transfers were Watkins to Darwin was a recommended transfer. Or Watkins and Diaby out. Watkins and Diaby out for Gordon and Darwin. I've been on this page too long, haven't I? Don't trust me anymore. I hate these things. Can't see any traffic lights. Why is FPL so stressful? Gabriel Jesus is looking at me. What I need to decide is if cash to Saliba's worth a -4. I don't like taking hits in FPL. But I feel like cash to Saliba can pay off. Phoenix, I didn't get back to you, did I? Lascelles, Gabriel, Simicas and Taylor. Yeah, 4-5-1. Yeah. Stephen says, sell Watkins for Darwin for a -4 this week. Switch to Isaac in 3 weeks. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Oh, FPL, guys. Why do we play this game? Why do we put ourselves through this pain? I just do not know. We've hit 28.3k subs, though, which is amazing. Remember, you can play about with this and get your AI transfers for free for the next 6 game weeks as a Fantasy Football Hub member with a 30-day free trial using the link that's pinned in the description or in the chat. Give it a go, see what you think. Right, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to set up this WhatsApp group. I haven't done it yet, but I'll show you where you need to go. I'm going to set up a WhatsApp group. It could well be capped for channel members. I've not set it up yet, but the captain pick, I'm going to put this as the WhatsApp group tier. I'm going to do that once I've come off stream. So if you're wanting to get my transfers and chat FPL with me and get more help with your transfers, that's what you need to do. Become a channel member at the captain pick tier. I'm going to get that set up very soon. Once it's done, I'll let you know on the community page that it's all set up. Because I still need to make a transfer. Still not sure what I'm going to do. I'm leaning towards selling Watkins. I could keep one of Diaby or Cash and not take the -4, but right now I'm tempted by the -4. I think it's such an important phase of the season that you've got to make some bold decisions sometimes in FPL, and this feels like it could be a week for it. Thank you so much, though, everyone that's joined me. We've had so many new members on stream. The mods have done an amazing job. Quite a few super chats as well. Really do appreciate all the support from everyone. It's been a 2-hour stream, so thank you for sticking with me. Hopefully it'll be a bit quieter and a bit less drama next week. But yeah, thanks so much for the support. Midweek game week coming up, so I'll be back on Tuesday. Well, I'll be back on Monday with a video. Tuesday, probably a double stream day just to keep us busy. But thank you so much for all the support as always, guys. You guys are amazing. I literally could not do it without you. So thanks very much. Hope you have a great game week. And if you're around tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in the UK, I will be on Sky Sports News. Thanks, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe.